What's going on, fragrance family? It's your man Gator, better known as the novice nose out here in these fragrance streets. Man, it has been a long day. I have been fighting this traffic out here in Atlanta, man. Glad to be home. I was about to turn it in, but I felt like I needed to talk to you guys about this particular fragrance here, mainly because I've been getting a lot of requests to talk about it here. It's kind of a hot topic right now, especially coming into the fall season, because the DNA that it lends to is definitely made for fall weather here. So and I did a scent of the day on it last week, and the response was amazing, so I figured you guys wanted to hear some stuff about it. Now, the fragrance in question is French Avenue's Royal Blend. Now, if you've heard anything about it, you know what it's interpreting, but I have it here, and I wanted to, you know, guys, normally I am kind of adverse, unless I'm doing an unboxing, to show the box, but the presentation on this one is so good. I just wanted to kind of, you know, show it. So this is the box that it comes in. This is the Royal Blend. As you can see, it's got Royal Blend written at the bottom here, with the French Avenue written at the top. And then if you circle around it, this is nice solid wood here. If you circle around it, of course, you got the authenticity sticker at the top, but then at the bottom you've got the French Avenue written as well, and then of course you got your notes and everything sitting here. So this is the crazy part about this. I love this. Watch this. The way the bottle is presented. So it's almost regal, henceforth the Royal Blend name here. There's a card in here that just, there's nothing on the card. It's literally just an empty gold strip. So I don't know what that's all about, but this is the fragrance itself, and this is the bottle itself. This is French Avenue's Royal Blend, and of course the camera's gonna play with that that gold a little bit here, and it's of course written on the top. Now, as to be expected, anytime you're cloning any of the Bykilian fragrances, you gotta try to clone that bottle, that cocktail glass type of style, and this one does it. It's a little taller, doesn't really clone the cocktail glass, but you see where it's going, you see where it's coming from. It's a beautiful bottle actually here. So let me not hold you guys too long. I want to get into the notes here on this particular fragrance, and there are some differentiations between the notes here and the notes in the OG. If you're familiar with that that OG Angel Share DNA and you're a big fan of it, the differences are like really apparent from the get-go. So on the Royal Blend, the top notes are cognac, cinnamon, and plum. Plum's interesting. The middle notes are iris and myrrh. Okay, that's your resonance. There we go, that word again. And then your base notes are vanilla, sandalwood, and tonka. Now, it's definitely missing the almond, and you can tell that in this particular fragrance here. So the OG, just to refresh you guys' memory, the top notes are cognac, the mids are cinnamon, tonka bean, oak, and Hideon. And then the base notes are vanilla, praline, sandalwood, and candied almond. So let me get into it a little bit here. I'm actually going to spray this on skin right quick here. I love the way that presents at the top, and then I'm going to actually spray a little bit here on the sprayer so you can see what the sprayer looks like. And to be completely honest, sprayer's not bad. Sprayer's not bad at all. Nice even distribution, pretty decent. So immediately when I smelled this particular fragrance, I knew it was different than some of the other interpretations that are out there. And when I say that, I'm talking about your Zamaya Sharoff blends, which I like a whole lot, and your Kamras, your Kismets. I really dug the intro to this because it reminded me a lot more of the actual OG Angel Share. And part of the reason why is because I get more of the wood forwardness in this particular fragrance in the opening than I do on those other ones. You get a lot of sweetness, you get that sugariness out of those. This one is not you get that as well. Don't get me wrong. You get the cinnamon, you get all that kind of stuff with all those, and you get the sweetness. With this one, you get it too, but it seems like the sweetness is almost dialed back. The wood notes are actually a little bit more prominent. Now, when I say wood notes, it shows only sandalwood in here, but when you smell it initially, it's almost like it tricks your nose into thinking that there's a little bit of that oak that you have in the OG in this particular fragrance. I love the way that it presents initially here. It's not, like I said, super sugary sweet. It is sweet, and it is sweeter than Angel Share. Don't get me wrong, it is, but it's not quite as sweet as a Kamra or a Zamaya Sharoff blend. Now, as it kind of goes into its progressions here, into the dry down, you start immediately pulling that cognac. That booziness is there, man. It is very much present. You get the booziness in there, and you start to pick up a little bit of that sandalwood, already giving it a little bit of that texture to this particular fragrance here as it starts to progress. Now, one of the things that it does not have that the OG has, and it makes a big difference, are the Hidione and candied almond. So this one doesn't come across as nutty. You know, it doesn't have that nutty depth that that the OG does. But it does have that iris that's there to give it almost like a little bit of a butteriness in the dry down here. So, and it's very subtle, that iris note. So you pick it up, the myrrh's there to give it a little bit more of that resinousness. So all of those things are subtle. You are getting mostly your sandalwood, you're getting your cinnamon, and you're getting your sweetness and your cognac, your booziness, and you're getting all of those things in congruence. So all of those things are kind of married together at the top into that dry down. So there's nothing that's really sticking out to differentiate itself. It's super well blended. In other words, you're getting mostly, you know, the cinnamon and that subtle sweetness, and you start picking up a little bit more sandalwood as you're getting into that hour and a half of this particular fragrance wear. It is super pleasant. When I say that it is one of those fragrances that also wafts in the air very well, this one spray that I put on my hand, you will be able to smell that for hours to come, and in little wafts that'll just come up to you. The sillage on this thing is great. Like I said, I wore it a couple times last week, but when I wore it to the job, one of the things that someone told me when I wore this at the job was, you know, I walked down the hall like 5 minutes before that person that came into work, and she was like, I knew you were at work because I smelled you when you came in. Now, this was after 3 hours. I had just walked to the bathroom, came back out. So there's definitely a scent trail that this particular fragrance leaves. It has a beautiful sillage, it has lasting power, and it does push off of your skin. These wafts mean that it does push. It is pushing off your skin. It doesn't have this beast-like projection where it's like literally 6 feet across the room you're smelling it. But if you get in the trail of this, you'll definitely be intoxicated, or anybody that, you know, is around you will be intoxicated by the way that this one presents in the air. Now, as it goes into that 3-4 hour dry down, what you're going to be getting mostly is that subtle sweetness, and you're going to be getting that sandalwood. You know how sandalwood is, it presents as a really creamy type of pleasant scent, and that vanilla and tonka start playing on that. So what you're getting is like an amalgamation of this creamy, sweet type of note. Now, it is distinctly woody, but it's not as woody as the original, and I think it's because the original has that oak in there to really give it a strong wood presence outside of sandalwood. Because while sandalwood is really woody, it's not the strongest type of wood. It's not the most distinct type of wood, but it does have its own character, and this definitely plays off of that sandalwood in there to give it a great character. This is very well blended. This is very well done. As far as how close it is to the original, I would say in the beginning, it's very close. You can definitely pick out, if you're nitpicking, you can pick out different things. I would say it's probably about 90%. But as it goes into the dry down, into that hour mark, they start to get a little bit closer into that 2 hour mark, a little bit closer. And then as it gets into the, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 hour mark, there is a little bit of a distinction, because this one is, like I said, is more of that sandalwoody, woody type of nuance, while the original Angel Share is more of a stronger, more potent type of wood in that dry down. But both of them dry down into a beautiful scent, man. And I think this is going to be an outstanding purchase for fall wear. I think a Jom Shop has it right now for $29.99, if I'm not mistaken. If you can get your hands on this, and that's if it's not sold out, because it sells out pretty quick apparently. If you can get your hands on it, make sure you get it. I had somebody ask me about what was the difference between this one and the Royal Blend Nero. Now, Nero is the clone of Sava, which is actually what Kamra and Zamaya Sharif blend are closer to cloning. So it's definitely a lot sweeter, and there is a distinction between the two of these. If you smell them side to side, that one is definitely a lot sweeter. It has a little bit more of the candiedness to it. This one is, like I said, more grounded, more woody, and has a little bit more depth to it. Man, I love this. This is definitely a recommend for me to pick it up. If you can, get your nose on it. If you can, get your hands on it. I think this is going to be one of those fragrances this fall that is going to make an impact in the cologne community, man. If this one, and I think I heard Jen Sid say this too, and I thought the same exact thing when I first smelled it. If this one would have come out at the same time that Kamra came out, we wouldn't be talking about Kamra. That's just how good this particular fragrance is, man. But don't take my word for it, man. Check on this. It's on discounters. It's all the way out there, man. And it's at a really good price right now. Scoop it up while you can, because I got a feeling those prices are going to skyrocket probably within the next month or so here as we're getting into the deep fall and winter season. And that's all I got on this particular fragrance today, guys, man. I think this is going to be an amazing fall pickup. I think that it's going to be one of those fragrances that is going to go down at the end of the year as being one of the best releases of the year, especially when it comes to clone fragrances, man. If you can, the projection is very decent, but the performance on this thing is strong. The sillage is strong, and it's above all just a great scent. And in general, man. So I think this is going to be something that's going to be fire for the fall and winter months, man. Let me know what you think about this particular fragrance. Have you gotten your nose on it? Also, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course share this video with someone that loves fragrances. That's all I got today, guys. I am out of here. Peace out.